Finally, a redesigned Toyota Camry is amongst us, and in front of us here we have the hottest of the packages, which you can get the 2025 Toyota Camry in. This is the XSE all-wheel drive, and this one is coming in at a Canadian MSRP of $44,250 plus your freight, PDI, taxes, and fees, and it is loaded with features. We've got an entirely new front fascia with some really cool honeycomb style matching color grills. You've got some sensors, which I'll explain in a little bit, but what do you guys think of this overall front end, which is new to the Camry lineup? Now, you might recognize these front headlamps a little, and that's because they're quite similar, if not identical, to that of the new redesigned Toyota Prius and Prius Prime, Toyota Crown Signia. Really nice look for the new 25 model Camry, especially against this ever so popular pearl white. You've got kind of like a blacked out chrome housing assembly for these headlamps. Really nice stuff. Now, as I mentioned, you'll notice some cameras here and some sensors throughout the front and the rear. The camera is pertaining to your panoramic view monitor that comes standard with the XSE, and these sensors are actually pertaining to your clearance sensors, which come standard with this model. You've got the latest in Toyota Safety Sense, which is the 3.0 finally for the Toyota Camry. Love the rear end, what they did with the taillight assembly. It kind of blends in to itself in terms of it looks like one whole piece, similar to that of the Grand Highlanders, if you are familiar with the rear end of the Grand Highlander. But overall, really aggressive stance and look. What do you think about this Camry redesign? And it wouldn't be an XSE model without this blacked out lip rear spoiler on the trunk, and also some other key characteristics in terms of piano black accents, like this rooftop finished in piano black with the panoramic moonroof built right into it. Really adds to the effect of the sporty look and feel. And coming standard is an all-new 19-inch alloy wheel, currently wrapped in a Bridgestone Performance tire. Now, it looks like it's an all-black alloy wheel, but it's actually not. It's black trimmed with a high-polished silver facing, which really adds to the appeal here. Love this model. This has to be one of the nicest looking models. I'm going to pop into the interior in just a second here. You can also go slightly more in the price range and go to the XLE grade for $44,950 Canadian plus your freight, PDI, fees, and taxes. But you lose a lot of these really cool sporty look and features like that front rear sport fascia or diffuser, which ties along very nicely throughout the sides of the vehicle as well. Now, this Toyota Camry is built using Toyota's latest and best hybrid technology, which is called the THS5 hybrid system, which is actually built and designed with smaller and lighter parts to make this vehicle very fuel efficient and incredibly enjoyable to drive. This is where you really get a sense of sportiness, and it's when you open the driver's door and hop inside. Take a look at all that nice contrasting red, black, polished black trim. Check out the detail on the Softex here on the interior door panels. I'll get to more in just a second. Let's hop inside. All right, everyone, stepping in on the interior. I mean, you know, it's one thing to redesign the exterior, but they really stepped up Toyota on the interior. We're going to go over some details in just a second, but you want to feel like you're in something sporty, luxurious, classy. Well, that's how you're going to feel when you're sitting inside of this 25 Camry XSE all-wheel drive hybrid. You've got one of the latest designs when it comes to the steering wheel layout on the 25 Camry hybrid, and this does have Toyota Safety Sense 3.0, as I may have already mentioned. So you got a lot of different settings here and customizations when it comes to toggling some of those safety equipment features on and off. You've got a leather wrapped heated steering wheel combined with a leather wrapped shift knob. Just over to the left over here, you've got a couple of different functions. You've got your fuel release, trunk release, your 360 monitor. I'll show you what that does in a second. You've got your dimness for your multi-information display system. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. So as you press the button, you can decrease or increase the brightness of that very large multi-information display system, which I'll show you guys a little bit more in detail in just a second. Back to these controls, you've got your traction control on and off, and you've got your automatic high beams. Before I get to that multi-information display system, you've got the plus and minus here for your paddle shifters, which is really cool and neat. And guys, if you haven't driven the 25 Camry hybrid yet, this has Toyota's latest hybrid powertrain system, like I may have already mentioned. Very enjoyable to drive, very responsive as well. Over here to the left, you've got your indicator for what's happening with your hybrid powertrain system. When it's in charge, which is mostly when you're braking, when it's in eco, so you're not using much fuel at all, and then when it's in power, so mainly your combustion engine is being used. And then over to the right over here, we have basically your speedometer. It's a digital speedometer, and then over in the center is actually where you can go ahead and toggle through and customize a lot of different settings, layouts, a lot of different multimedia selections in terms of what you want to show as you're driving. You can change where the layout of things are. Take a look at that, really cool. And guys, finally, TSS 3.0 on the Toyota Camry, really cool stuff. Check out this massive layout of this 12.3 inch wide touch screen featuring the latest multimedia, of course, from Toyota. That gives you wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, cloud-based navigation capabilities, Drive Connect, and more. Underneath the hood, like I previously mentioned, Toyota's latest hybrid system, THS 5. It's a 2.5 liter four-cylinder engine, giving you approximately 232 horsepower. Now you're downgraded a bit on the horsepower perspective to 225 if you go with the front wheel drive. This all-wheel drive XSE gives you about 5.3 liters per 100 kilometers combined city and highway driving, which translates to about 53 miles per gallon, which is absolutely fantastic. And keep in mind, it's hooked up to only a 49 liter gas tank.
They're catching up.
Now, this I find really cool. And what I'm talking about when I say this, I'm talking about the layout here of the function control buttons. Very similar to that of the Toyota Crowns and so on, and very similar to that of the sport car feel and look. I mean, in terms of ergonomics and, you know, kind of getting over to all the controls, it's really nice to see everything on one line. Very simple to get to any of your desired controls. And check this out, guys. You've got heated seats and you've got ventilated seats for an XSE Camry. That's huge. Typically, those are found on limited models, XLE models. So for the Camrys, XLE is higher than XSE in terms of grading, but you've got it here on the XSE. And typically with Toyota, you would generally have your heated steering wheel function somewhere over here, but on the 25 Camrys, you've got it right here. So you see those little markings there. That shows you how hot or how not hot your steering wheel is going to be. And you can actually leave it on auto as well. So right there, it's on auto. So basically it'll kick in when you have your heat going on in the vehicle. It will automatically put your heated steering wheel on. Pretty cool, guys. Now, it's a very elongated center console. You can do a lot with this space You can fit a lot in this space. You got 2 large cup holders here, another large storage section here where you can put your wallet, your phone, etc. You've got just to the left of that a wireless phone charger that comes standard with the Camry 2025 XSE. You've got a bunch of USB ports as well. You have your multi-terrain select as well, electronic parking brake, EV mode. You've got a sport mode, normal mode, and an eco mode. Taking a bit of a closer look at this door paneling, it is actually perforated, guys. And it really is nice because it matches the perforation on the seats. Check it out. So there is the perforated door panel. And here are your heated and ventilated red Softex seats. What do you think? Would you like to sit inside of this 25 Camry XSE all-wheel drive, configured exactly how it is? Hottest combination, white with the black accents, red interior. Wow. Let me know in the comments below. Okay, over to this trim, which a lot of viewers and customers question. Is this vented? What is this? It's not a vented section here. That would be a huge vented or vent, I should say. But it kind of replicates that idea. These are literally just grooved panels that follow throughout to the end, where you can see here the cavity behind the vent. That is where your vents are for the passenger side. And over to the left here on the driver's side, follows out or follows through with the same design here. Really cool. Now with this red interior, it's already very hot, but it pops even more due to the fact that you have a black roof liner that comes standard with the 25 Camry XSE hybrid. Now, if that's not enough, you also get a full panoramic moonroof similar to that of the 2024s. Now, of course, it's an XSE. This model does come standard with a JBL sound system. Now, it doesn't necessarily have all the features, like, for example, a digital display rear view mirror, which gives you a clear, unobstructed view of what's happening behind your vehicle with a toggle of a little switch or lever. But one can argue that I don't think you really quite need that in a sedan. That's more of a SUV type of feature, but it is automatic dimming rear view mirror with the parking garage function as well. And as I promised you, I'd show you what the screen does when you press that view button for your 360 camera. Well, it gives you a very clear and unobstructed view of what's happening around your vehicle. And then at the very end, it even gives you like a kind of like a bird's eye view from top down. There you go. Just so you can get a clear picture of what's happening, how your parking situation is, who's beside you, etc. What do you think about that feature, guys? Trunk space is still very decent when you're talking about a sport sedan. It's quite wide and it is quite deep as well. And for being a sporty redesign and being a hybrid, you still have a 60-40 split for the back seats, which is really convenient. Now, I stand corrected. These are actually not marked and labeled as Softex seats. These are actually leather seats, guys. So you're getting leather interior on a Camry 25 XSE hybrid. No wonder they feel so good. Guys, you can't quite see it because it's daytime right now, but this cavity here on the XSE Camry hybrid is actually your display for your heads-up display, which typically displays right around over there, You'll see it more in the nighttime, of course. So that's another key feature for the XSEs. All right, everyone, what do you think of this redesign? Is it very different from the 2024, the previous generation? Is it too similar? I want to know what you have to say in the comments. I think it's a fantastic redesign, especially on the interior. They really stepped up their game. A lot of viewers and customers wanted a new refreshed interior for the Camry. Well, here it is, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video and review. We'll catch you in the next one. Take care.